Kiki Penny. Kiki Penny.
God damn. Yo, Yo, I'm Brazilian. What is this? Salvi? Welcome to the stream, people. Um, I'm actually just sitting here trying to write a song. I can't get my words together though. Oh. Indigenous. I actually just used that word in this rhyme. Um, indigenous. So I started writing this last night, and I got a couple more bars. I think I got to put 4 more bars on this verse. Um, This is a heavily worded song. This is like my normal style of raps that take me much longer to write than the other songs that I've been writing lately. But that's fine. I'll just take I like to take my time and when I write these kind of raps. Honestly, I just started writing with no real concept in mind, no real idea of where the song would go. My 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 homie sent me some beats, and I just listened to one of them beats, and that shit just was going so hard. I just need to. And it started off like I said. I words just came out, and the first bar is funny, corny. It's corny, funny, corny, but I still like it, so it's sticking for right now. I might change it, but it's sticking for right now. Good afternoon, my dear friend. How you doing? Writing some new songs. So far, this is like I said. So my homie sent me some beats. This is one of the beats right here.
KK Benny.
So I'm like, I like these slow, well not slow, but kind of mid pace, melodic, like classic boom bap beats. This like a 90s boom bap. He titled this one Havoc and P. So if you know who Havoc and P is, that's Havoc and Prodigy. And those two guys make up the rap group Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep was really big in the 90s. The 90s and early 2000s. And they come from that boom bap era. And a lot of Havoc beats were just like this, like melodic, like kind of dark boom bap beats. As soon as I heard this, as soon as I seen the title, I was like, okay, I gotta listen to this one. And so I just started writing. Like, literally, I wrote the first thing that came to mind, and it's corny. And from there, I just kept going. But so it says, "How now, brown cow? Let the powwow begin." Just a how now, brown cow. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay, so how now, brown cow? Let the powwow begin. Yes, I absolutely understand the power of the pen. $5 Indians really think they blending in, but I'm so indigenous with my copper colored skin. My melanin resembles cinnamon. He's a god and I'm his twin. He is me and I am him. Triple Gemini, I'm my best friend. 9 ether beings, the original man. Past the Clovis layer, there's a myriad of evidence from the period. Mississippi was the Nile, and the mounds were the pyramids. On Turtle Island, it's amazing what the Niji did. And that's all I got so far. But I can see like I don't know, it took a turn for I guess I started thinking about like Dane Calloway. Did I just share that? I don't know if I shared that or not. My lord. So Dane Calloway is a guy I've been listening to for a couple of years, and he has this theory that the so-called African American, a large percentage of the people that we identify as African American because they are the descendants of slaves, a large portion of these people are actually indigenous to North America. That all the enslaved people during the period from 1630 or 1620 to 1865, those 250 years, 300 years, that shit right there, most of those enslaved people were not bought here from Africa. And he theorizes that a very large portion of those people were actually indigenous native people to this land, indigenous dark-skinned native people called the Niji, who predate who we call Native Americans or who we call American Indians. He says that the Niji were here even before they were. And that's why when you go down into Mexico, you see the Olmec heads. And some people say they look more Mongolian or Asian. A lot of people say they definitely have like deep African features, but they're not Indians, you know? And so who were these people who even the Aztec, the Mayans, and the Incas says that the Olmecs predate us? So I don't know. I don't know why my mind just, I heard this beat, I just started writing, and this is what's coming out. So I guess it's, kind of on that thing. And then when you listen to other archaeologists talk about the Clovis layer is a archaeological layer in the timeline sediment where for a long time people said, oh, this is the oldest people here in the Americans, the Clovis people. But in South Carolina, where I'm from, they started digging below the Clovis layer and found more shit of even more ancient people. So who were these people? I'm learning here. I work with a lady who said she was red-skinned and has the most luscious, wavy hair. I mean, there's more genetic diversity on the continent of Africa than there is in the rest of the world combined. So those people who spread out from that continent left that mitochondrial DNA everywhere. But yeah, listening to like different fields of science that aren't related, like some of that shit just adds up. Like there were people here before the Native Americans who apparently came across on the land bridge during the lull in the ice age, and came through Canada, came down and settled in the Americas. And there's probably people here before that. And then my thing too that I never really understood, even as a child in elementary and middle school and learning about the American slave trade, it never made sense to me that people from one continent sail all the way across the ocean and realize there's another landmass here. Like, oh shit, and it's filled with people. There are people here. And you want to enslave people to build a civilization for you. So instead of enslaving the people who are already on this new land that you found, you trek back across the ocean to do battle and capture people from another land on another continent, and then bring those people over to this new continent that already has people there. Shit never made sense. Why don't you just slave the motherfuckers who are already there? This stream for entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I do not hold any degrees or certifications in any field, so I do not give out any advice of any kind whatsoever. I never want you to believe anything I say. And if you think anything I say is true, I always advise you to do your own research and figure things out for yourselves, because I am wrong most of the time. I'm just doing this for fun, and I really have no idea what I'm talking about. So please, never ever take anything I say seriously or literally. Don't ever believe me, no matter how good it sounds. I don't want you to believe anything I say, because I'm just talking for fun. And this stream for Instagram and YouTube, these streams are for entertainment purposes only. We got a show over here where a black comedian traces ancestors to being white. Amazing. Everybody gets traced back to some weird shit, yo. And a lot of dark-skinned people don't know where they come from. And then the same thing can be done with a lot of very, very fair-skinned people who would consider themselves white and look back and be like, well, actually, your great-great-grandparents, they were mulatto and their grandparents were full black. And it's like, what? Like, yeah. It only takes a few generations to like alter the shade or the amounts of melanin. You can do it in really like 3 generations, and it's different. If 2 white people have a kid, two full Europeans, and their great grandparents and all the way back have been all pure blood Europeans, and then it just happens that these 2 have a daughter, and their daughter marries a very dark-skinned African man, and they have a kid. Their kid is definitely going to be brown. And if that brown kid marries another dark-skinned African, then their kid is going to be even more brown. Like that next generation will not look like the grandparents. It just won't. It only take like 2 or 3 generations. And if that kid decides to stay with dark-skinned people, it's damn near washed out. Maybe you'll have like a few kids throughout the generations who have like blonde hair or lighter colored eyes or something like that, and some of the other phenotypes that come through, but like everything light is recessive. Light skin is a recessive gene, light colored hair is a recessive gene, and light colored eyes are recessive genes. They're the weakest genes to shine through. That's why when you look at most populations of the world, when you look at India, well, you look at China, which is the largest population in the world. China has fair skin for the most part, but some Chinese people can be tan to mid-brown, and they have dark hair, dark eyes. And that's a really hard trait for Chinese, dark hair, dark eyes. When you look at India, the second largest population in the world, Indians, they have medium dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes. When you look at the continent of Africa, the third largest population in the world, most Africans have mid to dark skin, dark hair, dark eyes. So all the largest dominant populations on the planet are the genes just show that darker genes are the dominant genes. You look at Brazil, you look at Mexico, you look at America from before the Europeans came, everywhere all around the world, like the European phenotype is the only one that has the light skin, light hair, light eyes. So I say it only takes a few fucking generations to change that shit. I always find that shit amazing too. All right. Genetics. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's all genetics. We all humans. It's just, we just got fucking, we coded a little bit different. Everybody coded a little different. How now, brown cow? I can't believe I wrote that. How now, brown cow? Let the powwow begin. Yes, I absolutely understand the power of the pen. $5 Indians really think they blending in. So the power of the pen is during that time where to gain access to reservation lands and other benefits of the so-called indigenous Indians, people were actually paying $5 to have it written on their birth certificate that they were Indian or something. They called them $5 Indians, and they really thought they were blending in. But I'm so indigenous with my copper-colored skin. My melanin resembles cinnamon. I'm almost the color of cinnamon, you know? He's a god, and I'm his twin. Now this will come around, this part, the he's a god part. He's a god, and I'm his twin. He is me, and I am him. Triple Gemini. I'm my best friend. So it's like one half of the Gemini is talking about the other half of the Gemini. Like he's a god, but I'm his twin. So by default, I'm a fucking god too. He is me and I am him. And I don't believe in astrology and all that shit, but I'm a Gemini, and so the twin being or whatever. And I had my chart read one time, and my chart says that I'm a triple Gemini. I guess in all three phases of whatever, it still comes out to be a Gemini in each one. So it says, triple Gemini, I'm my best friend. So the twin being, I'm just my best friend, yo. The God himself. I don't need too many people. I'm good. 9 ether beings, the original man. And so there's this other guy who talks about like the origins of mankind and who the original man was and his properties, because we think we lost a lot of abilities just by wearing clothes and putting rubber soles on our shoes. So now we never really connect with the energy and the frequency of the earth and the food we eat and our sleep cycles, and all this shit has dumbed down our natural superhuman abilities to use telepathy and see auras, communicate like non-verbally. Like I think we really had way more attributes, like way more senses that are just fucking lost over time. And this guy talks about 9 ether is a part of the genetic code that deals with melanin, and I don't know. It's I ain't gonna lie. I have a very very basic understanding of what he be trying to explain, but saying that like there's different ways that we can connect with our environment, and if you have a higher melanin content in your being, it gives you a stronger antenna or a stronger connection. 9 ether. 9 ether beings, the original man. past the Clovis layer, there is a myriad of evidence from the period. Mississippi was the Nile, and the mounds were the pyramids. So I read this one book called When Rocks Cry Out. And the author puts forth the idea of Egypt. The first Egypt was actually in the Americas. That the Egyptian culture actually started on this continent and then transferred over to the African continent. And he has some evidence and then he posits that even maybe the Mississippi was once called the Nile River. It's a lot of weird shit in there, man. When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler. But then we hear this old story of the one explorer who went into the Grand Canyon and found like a cave system that wasn't a cave system. It was like goddamn like a castle or some shit, yo. Like carved out fucking chambers with what he said appeared to be Egyptian artifacts. And then the Smithsonian covered that shit all up, yo. You never heard about that shit ever again, yo, about the Egyptian artifacts that were found in the Grand Canyon. This shit was in the 1920s. In the 1920s. So when we dig past the Clovis layer and find evidence of an older civilization, when we see these mounds in Mississippi and Alabama that look like they are worn down pyramids, when we have reports of Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon, the Mississippi was the Nile, and the mounds were the pyramids. On Turtle Island, it's amazing what the Niji did. And so, like, land masses have had different names throughout the eras, and at one time, the entire continent of Africa was known as Ethiopia. And at one time, North America was called Turtle Island. So I'm just trying to throw a bunch of little shit in there about ancient America, I guess. I don't know. Not trying to take away from any other people's, or I'm just trying to just put a bunch of shit in there that I've heard or that I've read about, you know? Maverick One said, that's right. The Funky Hyena said, love your content. Yo, appreciate it, guys. Thank you, thank you. And twins, one black and one albino. I find this fascinating. That is a fucking amazing, yo. That is amazing. The little kids out there playing football. That's what's up. Fall time, all the leaves on the ground, they out there fucking rolling around and shit. I remember those days. Damn, to be a kid again. Okay. Is this unlocked? What is that? Yeah, my wheel was locked. There's literally nobody on Instagram. Nobody's popped in here the whole time. We're good on that. Let's turn it off. They don't have to have the Instagram on. Yeah, I'm trying to. So I want it to be 2 verses. So I almost have the first verse done. Not sure what the hook is gonna be. To 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I need 4 more bars to make this a 16, a hot 16. 4 more bars to make it a hot 16, or I could do it the cheap way and just take the last 4 bars and repeat it. That's an easy way to skate out of ending the verse. You know what I'm saying? Damn, how do I wrap it up, man? You just repeat what you just said. I ain't gonna do that though. I can find some words, a little bit more to say. We gotta find just a little bit more to say. So we've already started. It starts off with this weird phrase. I don't know if most people have ever heard "How now, brown cow," but it's, I don't know. Wait, it's like for helping people to learn English and how to enunciate syllables and words properly. And apparently it was some this funny line in this old ass movie where this dude greeted this fucking Indian guy. It was like, "How now, brown cow?" So racist. Anyway, so we already start off with like this Indian parody, and a powwow is not kind of, but like is this Indian term for like a meeting or a get together. So the first line already starts out with like indigenous peoples like references. And so we go from there to indicating that maybe there is something older than the indigenous people. Hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Let the powwow begin, the meeting. So first line, hey, let this meeting begin. Let's talk about something. We get here, we talk about nine ether beings and the Clovis layer, and what if Mississippi was the Nile, and Turtle Island with the Niji, and what the Niji did. It's amazing what the Niji did. Okay, what did the Niji do? Or what could they possibly have done? All right, how many rhymes do we have here? So we got 4 bars. That's four more rhymes. But I can use one rhyming pattern for the last 4. And so here we have myriad, period, pyramids, Niji did. Niji did is that's kind of scraping. Niji did. I don't know. It might squeak by. That's not a real close rhyme right there. That's not. I can tell, but I want to keep it. I want to keep that. Myriad, period, pyramids, Niji did. It might work. Okay, so now we can actually switch the rhyme pattern to something else, like the Niji. It's amazing what the Niji did. It's amazing what the Niji did. It's amazing what the Niji did. Put the sage wall. Put the sage wall. Can I say? No, not that. Let's say. I could put the Grand Canyon, caverns in the Grand Canyon, caverns in the Grand Canyon. Canyon? Can we rhyme with canyon? No. So that's not gonna be the last word. Cavern? That's hard to rhyme with. Um, mm. That's why I started writing last night. It's like I need 4 more bars, but I don't know where to go from here. Fuck. I want to say something about the Sage Wall. I don't know why that's sticking in my head right now.
Kiki Benny. I guess it'll come to me when it comes to me. I can't keep trying to force that. Yeah, purposely to try to force it. Kiki Benny. Yo, everybody, everybody watching the Mike Tyson fight tonight. That shit gonna be wild.
Kiki Benny.
Woo! I got something. I just got something. I think I just got something. Wait a minute. Um, damn. Who's the guy who found that shit in the Grand Canyon, yo? What's this motherfucker's name? Uh, Come on, Google. Where you at? You know what? Hey Siri.
What's the name of the explorer that found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon?
Here's artifacts recovered from the sites include stone tools, pottery, jewelry, seeds, ash from hearts, and even a buffalo bone, probably traded from elsewhere. This answer?
That's not right, Siri. Mm-mm. See, even Siri don't want to give me this shit. Kincaid. Will that work? Let me see. It might work. All right, so this next bar says, excuse me. Okay, here we go. This is a lot of speculation here. Some of it is this next bar is absolutely made up. I tell you, I don't believe a goddamn thing I be saying. I just made this shit up just now. So there is this wall in Montana. Look it up. It's called the Sage Wall. You can look it up right now. The Sage Wall. Montana. Yo, this is in Montana, yo. This shit it appears to be super fucking old. like megalithic ancient old, yo. And they just found this shit like maybe 10 years ago. Who the fuck built that shit? How long has that shit been there? And where's the rest of it? So this next bar says, well, extended from the last bar, on Turtle Island, it's amazing what the Niji did. They built the Sage Wall. I should put question mark. They built the Sage Wall before the younger Dryas. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon and found the goddess Isis. Tying the Grand Canyon, Egyptian artifacts, you know, adding more details about what possibly or who or what culture could have possibly constructed the Sage Wall, which is in, you know, mid North America. Like, hey, there goes something else. Pyramids, mounds, the Sage Wall, the goddess Isis. We getting there. So we got Dryas, Isis. We need 2 more words that rhyme with that, but make sense to wrap this up. And that'll be a hot 16. So that'll be the first verse right there. We almost got one whole new verse. It's not terrible. It may not flow. It'll get edited some. I might take a word out or add a word or rearrange something. I can like it like this right now, but all right, we'll let it simmer. You know, put it on low. We ain't really cooking with grease right now, but it's gonna be a slow cook, man. Them other songs, them Them quick little boppy songs. I was cooking with hot grease on them motherfuckers, man. Hot grease. Fry that bitch up. Get it out there. And that shit like, ooh, this one right here. This is we gonna simmer it. Then we gonna it's in the goddamn the Dutch oven. We might have to simmer on low for a little while and then put that shit in the oven, let it bake for a minute. It'll be a long process on this one. It's gonna be extra tasty at the end though. You know, extra tasty.
KK Benny.
I got the last bar. The last bar is knowledge is power, and this information is priceless. Younger Dryas, Isis, something, something, something. Knowledge is power, and this information is priceless. And that can wrap it up. I need something before inform. I almost said and found the goddess Isis. The Smithsonian took the ice and put it on ice. Because they said the Smithsonian covered all that shit up. And every time you look it up, it says, oh, it was a hoax. It was a hoax. Nobody ever found Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon. It was a hoax. But also, you can't explore the Grand Canyon. So you used to can explore the Grand Canyon. And just go exploring, go hiking and climbing, and just, this is a magnificent natural feature of the world. Like, let's go check this shit. No, you can't do that anymore. Why? It's for your own safety. You might die. Motherfucker, people jump out of airplanes every day. People go climbing up Mount Everest all the time, bro. What the fuck? People risk their lives for excitement and exploration. But you can't go in the Grand Canyon in certain parts, you know? But the shit about the shit is a hoax. Okay. Entertainment purposes only. Don't believe me. I'm just saying. The Smithsonian took the ice and put it on ice. Knowledge is, see, ISIS, dryest, ISIS, priceless. If I just say ice and ice, that's chopping it up too much. Dryest, ISIS, nicest. I'm the nicest, nicest, nicest. Bias, 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 ISIS, bias, spices, sis, bias, spices, nicest. I got the nicest bias, spices, ISIS. Stop. I might as well. The shit starts off how now brown cow, motherfucker. You started off how now brown cow. You might as well say nicest spices with the ISIS. Oh my God. Come on. Words. Don't force it, but just give me the damn words, universe. Where the words at that I need to use on this one part? All I need is a few words, a handful of syllables, man. A handful of syllables, a couple adjectives, maybe a verb. Just give me something to work with here. It's almost done. This first verse is almost there. And we didn't even, we worked on it for about, probably say about two hours last night. Hour and a half, 2 hours. And see, that's the thing. Those other songs, I wrote the whole song in an hour and a half, 2 hours. This shit right here, I'm not even through the first verse. And like, now it's like, we're on the third hour, right? In the first 16 bars, not even knowing what the fucking hook is yet. We don't even know what the hook's gonna be. We gotta figure all that shit out. That's okay. Well, we good though. We're gonna get there. Let me loop it back. Loop it. Pisces. Pisces is the fish. What is Pisces? The water bear? I don't fucking know this shit, man. Aquarius is the fish. I don't know. Don't laugh. Give me the answer. I don't know. Diocese? The diocese is like Catholic church clergy, right? Catholic clergy. Diocese.
The group of churches that a bishop supervises is known as a diocese. Typically, a diocese is divided into parishes that are each overseen by a priest. The original diocese in ancient Rome were political rather than were political rather than religious. Rome was divided into dioceses, each of which was made up of many provinces. So I really didn't understand. I thought the dioceses were like the clergy itself, but the dioceses are the groups of the organizations into a grouping, or different provinces, or what we would call counties or parishes. A group of those are a diocese and not the people that make it up. Okay, so I just taught myself something, so damn it, I can't use that word. Fuck. Because it does now it's that doesn't make sense that way. Hmm. I was gonna say don't believe the diocese, but you can't disbelieve the diocese because the diocese isn't actually a person or group of people. It's a grouping of other things. Okay, shit. Um, damn it. Now we're stuck again. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Rhymes gotta make sense. Don't write the shit if it don't make sense, man. What that shit don't make sense, bro? What that shit even mean? Cause I be listening to some people raps and it's like, do you even know what you're talking about, sir? I don't think you know what you just said, my guy. That's it right there. That I just they try to keep blinders where your eyes is. It is what it is, man. It's not proper grammar at all. It should be where your eyes are. I know that. I know it's not where your eyes is. I'm just saying it that way anyway. It is what it is, where your eyes is. They try to keep blinders where your eyes is. What's the last bar? Oh, knowledge is power. This information is how I said it. Knowledge is power. This information is priceless. Fuck, is that how I said it? Oh my god, I should have already wrote that bitch down. Son of a bitch. Do I gotta write in the margins? Do I gotta flip the page just for this last little piece? Lord have mercy. Now what I just said. They try to keep blinders. Where your eyes is. Knowledge is power. This information is priceless.
Okay. One new verse with no title, no hook, but it's something. We wrote something new. Okay, all right. It's Friday. Hey man, I might write tonight instead of playing games. I might sacrifice game time for writing time. No, I'll probably game for a little while. Who am I fooling, man? I'm probably game. I'm a game for a little while, for a little bit. You know, go in there and get beat up. To put my, check my ego, because I ain't the best in everything. You know, I be needing that sometimes. Have a 14-year-old put me in my place. Thank you, young man. Appreciate that. I needed that ass whipping just now. Knocked me back to reality. But see, playing the game, if I get too pissed off, I want to turn that bitch off. Like, fuck this shit. That's when I be like, all right, now it's time to write songs. Because the game, I ain't even want to play the game now. So I get to the point where I'm like, fuck this game. And then I'll try to start writing the second verse. I already know what I'm gonna talk about in the second verse. At least one thing I wanna mention Abubakari, the King of Mali. I want to say Abubakari, the Lion King of Mali, something like that. Abubakari, the Lion King of Mali. That's definitely going to be in there somewhere if I can squeeze it in there, because that's another good story about an African king that sent like people over here way before Columbus. It's an old ass legend. And then Columbus writes in his diary that when he came to the new land, like he said there was a tribe of Africans here. It's like, yo, there was some black people over there. And that's why Ivan von Sertima wrote his book, They Came Before Columbus. There's a lot of evidence for it. I didn't know, I really did not know I was going to write anything like this. I mean, this is not like conspiracy or, well, kind of, not conspiracy, but pseudoscience, I guess, alternative history. Alternative history, pseudoscience, and hearsay is what this is, I guess. You can put it like that. And yeah, it is what it is. I'm liking it though. You're gonna have a new Suno song soon.
Kiki Benny.
What is this?
Kiki Benny.
How can we summarize this thing and help us prepare for the next verse? What is all this trying to say?
That's not gonna work. Is that, wait a minute, because Let's paint for a minute.
KK Benny.
Ooh. I think this shit can be called Knowledge is Gangster. You should go and read a book. It's Knowledge is Gangster. Knowledge is Gangster. Knowledge is Gangster. Knowledge is Gangster. You should watch a documentary. Cause knowledge is gangster. Knowledge is gangster. Knowledge is gangster. You should visit ancient sites. Cause knowledge is gangster. Knowledge is gangster. I don't know. Something simple. I don't know. I tried reading a book by John Robeson called The Man Who Stared at Goats about the U.S. military having a secret unit believing soldiers could kill goats by staring at them. John Ransom. The unit they were trying to convince soldiers they could walk through walls. And this is a real experiment. And they actually made a movie about it back in the day. I mean, the deep state understands psychology more than anything. They are more mind manipulators than anything else, yo. They really understand how the mind works, especially group think, mass mob mentality, hierarchies, the experiments where they just take random people and some people just have authority over the other people and they start exerting harsher and harsher and harsher penalties over the ones who don't have authority, and then the ones without authority naturally just want to fucking rebel. So all these experiments are fucking wild as hell, and but also they do these and with the LSD and all this other stuff because they know that we lost something. We lost something. Humans should have entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? We should have the ability to communicate different ways other than just verbally. There's one. I heard there's one guy say that
the earliest humans, their skin was actually like mood rings, and we were more so we had a more a greenish tint to our skin. So they say like, I'm fucking all the science up. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But you know how if you wear cheap ass jewelry, and then it only fucks with some people. Some people don't even bother them sometimes. But back in the day when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? People would buy like imitation gold plated jewelry and shit and rings and stuff. If you wear that shit for too long, yo, it just turn your skin green. But that's because of the chemical reaction between your skin and the copper or something in the metal. And saying that in ancient times, the consistency of our atmosphere was denser and a lot different, and our food sources and just our way of living, more than likely we had a greenish purplish tint to our skin and not so much of a brown. The brown comes from oxidation. But having that skin type, your skin would actually deepen in shade or lighten in shade depending on your mood and emotions. So you couldn't even hide how you felt. Because if you were angry, you would show that you're angry. Almost like a chameleon in a way. And those are some of the abilities that I think we've lost over the years. Being closer to nature and having a more natural diet, allowing our body to do what it naturally does, like produce a certain type of skin color that changes if we get flush or we get hot, our skin actually can show those changes. Very, very pale people can do it. When you get embarrassed, turn red. Exactly, yo. The food, the shrimp make them pink, man. That's their diet. You know? I think we had like damn near superpowers. And then you wonder how all these megalithic structures were built. How did they build these things? Man, these were fucking really smart super beings. And who they were, nobody really fucking knows. Nobody really knows. Exactly. You're making pretty good time. It ain't even 5 o'clock yet. And I'm already like got this shadow looking all nice, you know what I'm saying? Shadow looking all shadowy and stuff. I like when my shadows be looking shadowy. You know what I'm saying? Doing what shadows be doing. Sitting there looking all dark and shaded. Not jaded. And I'm still getting faded. I'm so elated. And I can't wait it any longer. Cause I'm getting stronger. I think I got a boner. And it's getting, see, I can just, that kind of shit is weird. I can just keep going and going. Anyway, well, if I try to get serious, it's like, let me think about this. Let me think about this real quick. I'm gonna have to Google a word. Am I even using this word properly? No? Okay. You're dumb. Now we need a hook, hook, hook. Now we need a hook, hook, hook. If I can just write a hook for this thing tonight, I'll call it quits there. We can probably write some more tomorrow. Or the next day. You know, whenever. We already got it started. That's all that matters. We got that first verse. Second verse be a little intimidating because you want it to be just as poignant as the first verse is. Or I could cheat and make it look a simple song, you know what I'm saying? Instead of doing the whole verse, I can do just like a refrain and like a little chorus to go along with the hook. And just fluff it up at the end. And just wrap it up with a nice little bow and just have the first verse as like the strongest part. That's what I did with that last song I wrote too. If you notice, like the first verse is strong and the second verse is just like a bunch of stretched out words, just like feel it in. But it sounds good though, and it makes sense, and it's fun. And then, you know, it's not. I call it cheating, but is it cheating or is it just making a cool, quick song? Nothing too complicated, nothing too serious. But kind of serious, cause that little quick song got some. It make you think. If you think about it, you know. I mean, everything is deep when you think about it. Like coffee, just think about coffee. You know what I'm saying? Coffee is like ground coffee beans. But when you take beans and grind beans, and then you can go on and just make something, you know. I was gonna go like this. I think I'm gonna raise it up and try to come through that part. Let me lift it up. Man, I got check me out, man. Who you know do it like this? Huh? I had to put my pad down and my palette. Huh? If I ain't the shit, I don't know what you gonna call me, man. I don't know what else to call it, bro. Is this nigga right? Yeah, yes. Yes, I am. This nigga just wrote a song in a portrait.
KK Benny.
pretzels are candy coated. Most of the time they're fudge or white chocolate coated pretzels. But it's that time of the fucking year where everything is fucking pumpkin spice. And so my fucking knot is coming out. I don't care. And so there was somebody had some pumpkin spice covered pretzels or whatever. I don't like that shit. I don't normally like pumpkin spice hardly anything. I don't even know why I took them shit. Ain't like, you want some pumpkin spice pretzels? Pumpkin spice pretzels? Yeah. You know what? I actually do like covered pretzels. You know what I'm saying? I do like them shits, yo. The fudge, whatever's. I try. You know what? I will try some pumpkin spice. I tried it. I tried two of them because the first one I was thinking maybe it's because I was drinking this, so I chewed it up. You know. The second one I'm like, nah, yeah, I'm good. So I didn't just like. Bleh. I tried it. I ate two of them and I don't like that flavor. It tastes like really, really artificial or something. I don't know. It doesn't taste anything like what I would imagine pumpkin spice to taste like. It just doesn't. Mm. Oh well. Now shit out of my teeth.
Kiki Benny.
Mississippi was the Nile and the mounds were the period were the why can't I say this shit? Mississippi was the Nile and the mounds were the pyramids on to the island. It's amazing what the Nietzsche did. They built the Sage Wall way before the younger Dryas Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. They tried to keep blinders. They try to keep blinders where your eyes is. Knowledge is power. This information is priceless. They try to keep the blinders. They try to keep the blinders right where your eyes is. They try to keep the blinders. I might have to add words right there. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. They try to keep the blinders right where your eyes is. They try to keep the blinders where your eyes is. They try to keep the blinders right where your eyes is. Knowledge is power. This information priceless. They try to keep the blinders. They try to keep
the blinders right where your eyes is. They try to keep. If I had to add 2 words, those would be the 2 words. They try to keep the blinders right where your eyes is. Knowledge is power. This information is priceless. They built the Sage Wall way before the Younger Dryas. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Might use searched instead of explored. They built the Sage Wall way before the Youngest Dryas. Kincaid searched the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. Kincaid explored they found the Sage Wall way before the Youngest Dryas. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. I might keep explored and see how Suno plays with it. And if not, I can just change that to searched. I think I'm gonna drop the one part that says Triple Gemini, I'm my own best friend. I might take that part out completely and just add and change up the next bar that was 9 ether beings, the original men. I'm gonna say 9 ether light beings, Asiatic black men. So just add more syllables to that next bar and drop that. I think that was a little bit run on for that one part. My melanin resembles cinnamon. My melanin. See, and this is why I'm so happy I don't have to record this shit myself no more. Cause if I was in the studio stumbling over this shit like this, I would be kicking myself in the fucking ass. But that's why I would really try to memorize I would go over this shit for days before I go to the studio. If I just wrote some shit, I'm not taking that shit to the studio. It take me a long time to memorize my shit and get my flow right. I gotta practice this shit for days and days. And then once I can run through the whole song without reading the page, then I feel like I'm ready for the studio. But then when I go in the studio, I still bring my paper with me anyway. Fuck that. I got this shit memorized to a T. I'm still bringing my pad. My melanin resembles cinnamon. He's a god and I'm his twin. He is me and I am him. 9 ether light beings, Asiatic black man. Past the Clovis layer, there's a myriad of evidence from the period. Past the Clovis layer, there's a myriad of evidence from the period. Mississippi was the Nile, and the mounds were the pyramids on Turtle Island. It's amazing what the ninja did. They built the Sage Wall way before the Younger Dryas. Kincaid explored the Grand Canyon, found the goddess Isis. They try to keep the blinders right where your eyes is. Knowledge is power. This information is priceless. Such a struggle. I'm struggling so hard right now. I think I'm gonna have to just wrap that up for a minute. I feel like I'm struggling too much. Oh, it hurts. We got that though. It's workable. If it's not exactly in its final form, it's definitely workable. You know, we can get something from that. I'll close out the beat so I'm not tempted to listen to it again. We got something good. She said this song will be created by the end of the weekend. We're gonna definitely try to finish this thing up for the end of the weekend. If it's Sunday night, 10 o'clock, I'm still typing in Suno. I gotta get it done. Am I writing a song every week now? For free? Nobody ain't paying me to do this shit. It's wild.
Maybe I should try to sell some of these songs though, you know? So Dane Calloway just put up a video less than an hour ago, 57 minutes ago, and the title of the clip is "They Thought We Didn't See It Coming." Well, 50 streamed 50 minutes ago. It already got like almost 3,000 views in the past hour, and it's about Trump or something, I guess. He's definitely. He's super sketchy and skeptical about Trump and what they're doing right now, and he'll let you know that. But he was definitely not for the Harris bullshit, yo. Whatever. He was just like, nobody should fall for this bullshit with this lady. What's going on here? This is so much hyped up propaganda, and so from him saying that. Like, a lot of his viewers is like, damn, bro, you done switched to the other side. Damn, my guy, you a fucking Trump supporter now. Oh, damn, dude, you a Nazi now. All this shit. He's like, nah. And then he put out a video, like, heavily criticizing Trump, too. It's just like, yo, this nigga is not perfect. He's definitely not perfect. And I don't trust this motherfucker 100% either. But he is like, yo, whatever the Kamala Harris Democrat campaign was doing, trying to get her into his, like, yo, that shit was wild. He was just trying to hit people to that shit. Like, a lot of people are trying to hit people to the fucking controlled media propaganda machine. And he hasn't, because this Dane Calloway, this is the guy I was saying, he put me on, and maybe the slave trade wasn't told the way it actually happened. You know, maybe most of the slaves were already actually here. And so that's what his whole platform is based off of, is like history, and trying to figure out like the black man's place here in this land. Are we actually from here, or do we really come from West Africa and all this shit? Like, and he just doubts a lot of that stuff, or the majority of the way it was told or what happened, because even Columbus, once again, records in his diary that he came here and took black people back to fucking Italy with him. He took slaves from here back over there. And then most of the slaves went to the fucking Caribbean. But I'm gonna see what he says in this video. They thought we didn't see it coming.
Everything that is happening nowadays, but you can't figure out why. I can tell you that millions of people feel the same way as you do. In this video, I will try to provide educational answers to your questions. It is essential to note that I am not influenced by either party, being an independent thinker. So you can expect that this video and all of my other videos will come from an unbiased perspective. So let's get
Dane be rapping too, yo. On his intro, on the intro to some of his shit, yo, he got a couple of rap songs.
Before the presidential election on November 4th, 2024, Donald Trump's vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, recorded this interview with Tucker Carlson, stating what the media would do once Trump won the election.
Trump's main campaign platforms, one of the main things that he talks about, and of course, I think he learned in some ways the hard way during his first 4 years in office, is the president recognizes that if you have people in your government who you tell to do something and they disobey you, that's not like checks and balances. They're part of your government. The check and balance is the House, the Senate, the judiciary, right? If the people in your own government aren't obeying you, you have got to get rid of them and replace them with people who are responsive to what the president is trying to do. If you don't have that, you don't have a real democratic.
You got to be a nut cutter because that's the system at stake.
That's right.
That's democratic control. How do voters have any control over their government if the people they elect have no control?
That's exactly right, man. And again, it's we have to sort of remind ourselves that it's real people who suffer because of this, right? There are Americans who are dead because the Joint Chiefs of Staff didn't listen to the President of the United States when he said you need to do troop redeployments out of Syria. There are veterans who are dead because the VA does not function as well as it could because the president needs to be able to fire, again, the small number of people who aren't doing their job. And that same story repeats itself, rinse and repeat through the entire American government. You have got to have basic democratic accountability. And I think, most Americans recognize, like, look, we're fine with, bureaucrats making a reasonable salary. We're fine with people having a good life, but they've got to do their job, right? When you're in public service, you've got to do your job. And whether you're an elected official or an unelected bureaucrat, if you're not doing your job, you got to get out there and make way for somebody who will.
So if you guys win and you start firing people who are acting against orders of their commander-in-chief and against the expressed will of voters, the New York Times will call it a fascist takeover.
That's exactly right.
So the question is, do you care?
Well, I think we have to not care. Now, you have to care about public opinion, of course, because you have to actually make the case to the American people.
But if you're acting on behalf of the public,
you have to say, look, it's what's so funny about it is it's the opposite, right? Real democracy is when the elected leaders the voters elect actually make the decisions of the government. Right. But fascism, if it's anything, it's that the voters don't get any say in how the government actually operates. So fascism, if it's anything, it's that the voters don't get any say in how the government actually operates. So I think you have to do it. And look, man, I've been in politics all of 2 years, but there are all of these really subtle ways in which the media, the tech sector, the people who call the shots try to manipulate the American public and manipulate political leadership into not doing the things the American people actually want. So here, let me give you an example. Mark this down. I guarantee in 18 months or so, we're going to have, this is going to be prophetic. So right now, according to public opinion polling, 65% of Americans, give or take, support mass deportations, meaning 25 million people here, you've got to send some of them back to where they came from, okay? That's a common sense issue. 2/3 of Americans, give or take, support it. In 18 months, there will be media stories and there will be public opinion polls to back it up that actually Americans do not support mass deportations, that Donald Trump is doing all of these terrible things and he has to stop. It's inhumane, it's evil, and the American public don't support it. The same people who put those public opinion polls together are the same people who say, for example, that Donald Trump was going to lose Wisconsin by 17 points. Remember that? 3 days before the 2020 election, Donald Trump was supposed to lose Wisconsin by 17 points. And set to the side all of the debates about what happened in 2020, Wisconsin was basically a tied election. So these guys use public polls, they use the media, not even just to manipulate public opinion, but to manipulate our leadership about what public opinion actually says.
So how does that happen? So those polls are fake, is what you're saying?
Oh, absolutely, they're fake. They're absolutely fake.
Almost everything he mentioned would happen is quickly becoming a reality. Trump is currently filling his cabinet with people who are said to make drastic changes within the government that will eliminate the swamp and give power back to the people. Vance mentioned that the media will work overtime to manipulate the public into opposing President Trump's agenda for America. He noted that the administration's plan for mass deportations will prompt the media to create and release fake public polls, suggesting that Americans are against these deportations, which are set to begin on Trump's first day in office. In reality, many Americans actually support this plan. Behind the scenes, extremist groups that some evil people in their organizations fund are recruiting people right now to execute their plans to disrupt President Trump's inauguration on January 20th, 2025, a scene that we have seen before during Trump's first inauguration.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 per month on car insurance, you're getting ripped off. Guys, so everyone is ditching their car insurance
Like he has to say, "Oh, I'm not a supporter. I'm not influenced by either party. I don't really support either party. I'm non-biased and all that shit." We get that shit, bro. But you sound like you on the Republican side, big dog. You sound like you're on the Republican side, big dog. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, once again, he is a common sense thinker. And the way he tells the slave trade story is just like, I never thought about it that way, really. You know, not in depth like that. And it's like, bro, that shit makes a lot of sense. That shit is weird as hell. Why would it work that way? And now that he's really been on these issues, more so, but he normally covers some current events too. Shit with police or, you know, big media cases, the whole Diddy thing. He even him and Umar Johnson were going back and forth one time because Umar Johnson is a Pan-Africanist and everybody should go back to Africa, and Dan Calloway is like, bro, we from here. Why go back to somewhere we're not from? There's more evidence to say that I am indigenous to this land than to, instead of saying I'm indigenous to the continent of Africa. And then Umar is like, no niggas not from here, blah blah blah. And then Umar was like, bro, we can go live together and debate. We can go, instead of like having these little of like me making a clip about you, or me saying something about you in my stream and then somebody clipping it and then showing it to you, and you saying something about me in your stream and somebody clipping it and showing it to me. Like, why don't we just sit down and have a debate about what we believe and pull out all of our best evidence? You pull out your best evidence, I'll pull out my best evidence, and we'll just lay it out and see who has the strongest argument. And Umar Johnson did not want to do that. And I like Umar. I respect Umar a lot. You know, nobody can't make me never say that, because no matter what you say about him, he has done some stuff. He still ain't got that school up and running yet, but he has done some stuff. And he still always try to be a positive. If nothing else, he tries to be a positive person for the community. He's a Philly dude. I mean, what do you expect from this guy, man? He's from Philadelphia. So. But yeah, I was surprised that Umar did not want to debate him, though. I'm like, that's interesting. The Prince of Pan-Africanism. You should be able to take your message and hold that shit anywhere. But once again, he ain't want to debate Dane Calloway, though. He would not debate Dane Calloway. I was like, that mean Dane must be on to something real hard body then. Let me keep listening to this dude. I say, because I like Umar and I respect Umar. But you ain't want to debate Dane. There's a reason why. You think his argument gonna crush your argument? And if so, that's just an opportunity for you to learn and grow, right? And now you can reframe your train of thought and add to that, amplify it, and move on. But he like, nah, you don't wanna do the debate thing about, Pan-Africanism versus indigenous. Hey, with the research, Dane ain't the one to play with the research, bro. That motherfucker got all the research. He said some other crazy shit. He wants you to buy his book. He don't really talk about that too much, but he got some other crazy shit he said, and that shit's still kind of hard for me to believe. I was like, really? Really? I might have to get that book and see what that shit about, bro.
And pepper spray. Before the swearing-in ceremony even began, protesters tried to block checkpoint entrances. During President Trump's speech, several demonstrators were escorted out of the area. Several officers injured during the protest today, and more than 100 people arrested.
Tonight, thousands of protesters remain in downtown D.C., occasionally facing off with police. We have seen many people injured, both protesters and police officers.
Yeah, they're planning to riot and protest against Trump again, this time with a twist. Also, I'm guessing these types of videos will look different according to today's exit polls, which show the majority of men voted for Trump, the majority of women voted for Harris, and the majority of these men and women who voted for Harris were black. The last time we saw crowds of black men and women similarly take to the streets was during the Civil Rights era. So will we see large crowds of angry black men and women in videos like this? I doubt it very seriously, but let's not forget how the Democrats jumped to the media to entice the public to do something about Trump. Here's a clip of Democrat Congressman Dan Goldman sending a warning message to Trump and his supporters.
It's just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
The Democrats clarified that they will prevent Trump from becoming president, even if he won the election.
Joe Biden's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill. Being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
He would absolve from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats.
Okay, this has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal thought you were going like a season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but
we all know that Trump did win. But listen to Democrat Congressman Jamie Raskin say what will happen after Trump wins.
Again, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means.
He gave the date of January 6, 2025, and they are currently recruiting people right now through multiple extremist groups who are well known for violent protesting. According to reports, flyers are presently posted on college campuses in Washington, D.C., instructing students to, quote, fight fascism. The Cambridge Dictionary defines fascism as a political system based on a very powerful leader, state control, and being extremely proud of country and race, and in which political opposition is not allowed. In contrast, Dictionary.com defines it as a system of government led by a dictator who typically rules by forcefully and often violently suppressing opposition and criticism, controlling all industry and commerce, and promoting nationalism and often racism. These are two distinctively different definitions that will purposely sway public opinion. These flyers are equipped with QR codes, and when you scan them with your phone, it brings up a collection of links, quote, inviting individuals to fight fascism by joining groups like the People's Medic Collective, the DMV Students for Justice in Palestine, and the Socialist Action Initiative. The trio of groups were recently involved in the pro-Palestine protests that took place in the nation's capital, following Hamas October 7th terrorist attacks in Israel, which were rife with illegal activity. Equal. These flyers display the messages, what now? Fight fascism, start today, and turn your anger into action, encouraging people to join their left-wing organizations. I say this because the Tides Foundation calls itself a, quote, left-leaning donor-advised fund, and is a proud founder of the Students for Justice in Palestine organization I mentioned. The Tides Foundation is also mainly funded by George Soros, the same funder of all left-leaning organizations like Black Lives Matter, an org that stole donations from Black Americans by lying to them, saying that they would assist them in receiving justice against police brutality. But instead, they purchased million-dollar mansions and left the organization to dry up once their job to steal money and people's attention was complete. But let's not forget that in the past, Donald Trump said that he would do one thing when he actually does another. For example, during his first campaign for president, Donald Trump said that he would drain the swamp and that he would lock up Hillary Clinton numerous times throughout his campaign.
Entrepreneurial women who want to leave their 9-to-5 corporate job behind. If your business is struggling with slow growth or inconsistency, and you're starting to doubt whether this is the path for you, or why no market...
By the way, Hillary Clinton is missing 30,000 emails. They've been deleted. 30,000. 30,000 emails. And remember I said I was a counterpuncher? I am. After what she said about me today in her phony speech, that was a phony speech. That was a Donald Trump hit job. I will say this, Hillary Clinton has to go to jail, okay? She has to go to jail. I said that was a phony hit job. She's guilty as hell. And I'm saying, what the hell are they talking about? We have to win, right? We have to win. We didn't come this far to lose. So we're going to play California because I think Hillary is very weak. I think she's pathetic. I think she should be in jail for what she did with her emails, okay? She should be in jail. She should be in jail for what she did with those emails. Let me tell you, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it. But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. This just came out. This just came out. WikiLeaks, I love WikiLeaks. And I should write a couple of them down. Let's see. During a speech, crooked Hillary Clinton. Oh, she's crooked, folks. She's crooked as a $3 bill. Okay, here's one. Just came out. Lock her up is right. No. She gets a subpoena, and after, not before, that would be bad, but after getting the subpoena to give over your emails and lots of other things, she deleted the emails. She has to go to jail. Public events until after the debate. They say she's doing debate prep. But really, she's just resting. She's resting. For what she's done, they should lock her up. She's disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
I mean, crooked Hillary spent 3 or 4 times more money than us, right? So crooked Hillary, you should lock her up, I'll tell you.
I'm telling you, that Biden family and others, but that Biden family is corrupt. It's a corrupt family. And with me and my kids, let me tell you, my kids, I'll tell you something though, just lock them up. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary. Lock them up.
But on June 3rd of this year, during an interview with Fox News, he denied saying any of this and blamed his supporters for saying lock her up.
Rachel asked you, though, because I hear you struggling with it. I hear you say it's a tough question, a bit unsure. You famously said regarding Hillary Clinton, lock her up. You declined to do that as president. But now...
And purposely, because after I won, you know, it's different when you win. I see it tonight, I'm going to UFC with Dana White. And I see fighters, they come in with hatred like you wouldn't believe it. It's amazing. It's a little metaphor in life, right? The hatred, they hate each. Then after the fight, somebody wins, somebody loses. Sometimes they get knocked out. Sometimes it's... But they hug and they kiss each other. It's like crazy. I beat her. It's easier when you win. And they all said lock her up. And I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then this happened to me. And so I may feel differently about it. I can't tell you, I'm not sure I can answer the question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. Okay, then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax, let's go. We're gonna make our country great.
Yeah.
Tired of your YouTube channel not getting the attention it deserves? Building a YouTube channel can be a very lucrative and successful way to make new fans or sell your product or service. But without the proper YouTube promotion, your
Yeah, I'm not sure I can answer the question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up, lock her up.
You heard him. He denied saying that he said to lock her up when I played multiple clips of him saying so. And he also said that they said that. They meaning his MAGA supporters. In case you don't think he was referring to his supporters, he doubled down on this in August of this year during a press conference. Listen closely to what he says and how he slickly changes the topic on purpose.
President Biden is now not part of his son Hunter, who is now a convicted felon facing more felony charges. His upcoming father, Lovesh activated, who you consider granting clemency for Parliament.
I don't think it's appropriate for me to talk about it. I think it's a tragic story. You want to know the truth. And I felt that with Hillary Clinton too. You know, with Hillary Clinton, I could have done things to her that would have made your head spin. I thought it was a very bad thing. Take the wife of a president of the United States and put her in jail. And then I see the way they treat me. That's the way it goes. But I was very protective of her. Nobody would understand that, but I was. I think my people understand it. They used to say, lock her up, and I'd say, just relax, please. We won the election. I think it would be I think it would have been horrible for our country and we had her between the hammering of all of the files. And don't forget, she got a subpoena from the United States Congress. And then after getting the subpoena, she destroyed everything that she was supposed to get. I thought it was so bad to take her and put her in jail. I thought it was so bad to take her and put her in jail, the wife of a president of the United States. And then when it's my turn, nobody thinks that way. I thought it was a very terrible thing. And she did a lot of very bad things. I'll tell you what, she was pretty evil. But in terms of the country and in terms of unifying the country, bringing it back, and to have taken her and to have put her in jail, and I think You know the things as well as I do. There were some pretty bad acts that she did. I think it would have been very bad for our country and a lot of my people, a lot of the MAGA, as they call them, but the base. And I think the base is 75% of the country, far beyond the Republican Party, because we're a party of common sense, and I'm a person of common sense. I want to have low taxes. I want to have strong borders. I want to have a strong military so that China and Russia, look, they've allowed China and Russia to do the impossible combined.
Could this be America's last election if Donald Trump wins? Listen to what the former president told a Christian group at the Turning Point USA Believers Summit in West Palm Beach. The former president telling the crowd that if they re-elect him to the White House, they won't have to worry about voting ever again.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You gotta get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not gonna have to vote.
He said it 3 times. Now,
see, what the public has to realize is that the enemy is on code with their plans. And what's alarming is how easily Donald Trump became the new incoming president for a second time without any cheating during the election this time around. Their code language is numbers, and Trump was president number 45 and is now president number 47. 4 plus 5 is 9, and then 4 plus 7 is 11. So that's 9/11. 911 is nationally recognized as the number to call for emergency assistance. It also evokes memories of September 11th, 2001, which may suggest the need for emergency assistance in their internal camps, as though it was an inside job. So with that being said, is Donald Trump the emergency relief for us, the people, or for them?
This nigga just took me on some other shit.
I'm just here to make you think.
Bro, what the hell you did with the numbers just now, man? What the fuck was that? I was right there. I was right there the whole time until he said 9 and 11. Wait. Why you had to do that? Why you threw the numerology in there? I ain't ready for that part, bro. God damn. This nigga gonna have me pulling out calculators and shit. Let me take a bathroom break real fast, guys. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna take a bathroom the whole time. I got to pee.
You swinging through your cesspool, trying to make your best move, and you know it's stressful, trying to be successful. Muscles in your neck pull, trying to bear the weight, and the trolls keep trolling, trying to block your lane. A mission to spread hate, trying to make your heart break. Putting nasty comments on your Instagram page, but your fans appreciate all the art that you create, so you never shy away. Just a few steps from being great. Now it's time to elevate, art and educate. Who moves next? Who does less? Who snooze more? Keep swinging till your arms are sore. When you sweat, they can smell ambition in your pores. If you making moves, then you gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors should stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you making moves, then you gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors should stay on your grind and go and get your paper. Set some goals, break the mold, let them know that you are golden. Let it flow, thoughts explode, conscious grows, word out open. Action in motion, passion's the potion. They try to creep slow, but these creatures lactose, so I never cry over spilled milk, never guilt trip, never guilt trip. If you making moves, then you gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors should stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you making moves, then you gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. You swinging through this festival, trying to make your best move, and you know it's stressful, trying to be successful. Muscles in your neck pull, trying to bear the weight, and the trolls keep trolling, trying to block your lane. A mission to spread hate, trying to make your heart break. Putting nasty comments on your Instagram page, but your fans appreciate all the art that you create, so you never shy away. Just a few steps from being great, just a few steps. Now it's time to elevate, art and educate. Who moves next? Who does less? Who snooze more? Keep swinging till your arms are sore. When you sweat, they can smell ambition in your pores. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. Set some goals, break the mold, let them know that you are golden. Let it flow, thoughts explode, conscious grows, third eye open, action in motion, passion's the potion. They try to creep slow, but these creatures lactose, so I never cry over spilled milk, never guilt trip, never guilt trip. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper.
Go and get your
If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapor. Strangers and Lucy ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper.
One more time. I think this is my favorite version.
You swinging through this festival, trying to make your best move, and you know it's stressful, trying to be successful. Muscles in your neck pull, trying to bear the weight, and the trolls keep trolling, trying to block your lane. A mission to spread hate, trying to make your heart break. Putting nasty comments on your Instagram page. stage, but your fans appreciate all the art that you create, so you never shy away. Just a few steps from being great. Just a few steps. Now it's time to elevate, art and educate. Who moves next? Who does less? Who snooze more? Keep swinging till your arms are sore. When you sweat, they can smell ambition in your pores. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. Set some goals, break the mold, let them know that you are golden. Let it flow, thoughts explode, conscious grows, third eye open, action in motion, passion's the potion. They try to creep slow, but these creatures lactose, so I never cry over spilled milk, never guilt trip, never guilt trip. If you making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper. If you're making moves, then you're gonna have some haters smiling in your face, but you can smell the vapors. Strangers and Lucy-ass neighbors, just stay on your grind and go and get your paper.
We can definitely finish his shirt this weekend. I'm definitely gonna get that shirt done. Fuck that. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get that shirt done.
I'm swimming to the cesspool, trying to make your best move, and you know it's stressful, trying to be successful. Muscles in your neck.
So that's our goal for the weekend. If we get past that, fantastic. But by Sunday, I definitely want to have his shirt nice and buttoned up. So we still got his shirt, his necklace, and his glasses to detail. Yeah, it's not a lot. And work our way through it nice and easy. Easy peasy. And her hair. Well, no, her hair is going to come very close to the end, is what I'm going to do with her hair. Right. So, yeah. I think I'm making really good progress on this thing. Appreciate y'all chilling with me, and I'll get with y'all next time. Peace.